Alright, couldn't make a video yesterday because I was busy working, but today we're back again, fucking Night Stalker. This hero is so ridiculously overpowered, and I I think he's gonna get nerfed next patch, so it's probably best to do it early while he's still in this ridiculous state where he has like 80% win rate in Divine. Um, so starting off, we have, the usual, checking his spells. Avoid, this is just a single target nuke, does like 90 damage at level 1, it scales up to about 300. It also mini stuns during the night, but not during the day. And it slows attack speed by a little bit, and it slows during the day, but it slows for longer at night. It's like 1.5 seconds a day, 1.25, and it's 4 seconds at night. If you buy an Aghanim Scepter, this is what makes the hero so OP right now. It's AoE, and you press a single button, it's a massive AoE around your hero, and it makes it stun for 0.6 instead. And it also reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds, so this is a really good spell. Next, W. It's a self buff. It lasts for 3 seconds at day. It lasts for up to 8 seconds at night. It's just a AoE silence, so enemies can't cast spells during it. If they blink in, they instantly can't cast spells. It also lingers for half a second or something like that. Next up, passive. Gives him attack speed and move speed at night. Doesn't work during day. Doesn't work if you get braked by Silver Edge. Pretty simple spell. I don't know why I did that. Oh yeah. Alt. Long cooldown, big mana cost. Self buff for 30 seconds gives you 50 bonus damage, and it makes it nighttime regardless of what the in-game time is. And then obviously this gives you the move speed from this, the duration from this, and the damage duration from this. I mean the mini stun. Okay, so Night Stalker has very basic spells, so I won't spend too long on that. Just quickly watch a replay of why this hero is so good right now. The main thing about Night Stalker is that he's very hard to kill in lane because he has high health and health regen, and with a stout shield, he can absorb a lot of damage with his 3 health regen, and he can farm pretty easily with his Void now, which does 90 damage during day. And once he buys this AGHS, his teamfight presence is just ridiculous because an AoE silence that can't be purged. Like heroes like Slark, which are quite good right now, they can't get out of it. Faceless Void can't get out of it. A lot of carries just crumble. Offlaners, Sand King, Axe, they can't jump into it. You can use it as preemptive counter initiation. Starting items, Stout, 6 Tangos, 3 Mangoes. This gives you a lot of mana regen, gives you 3 Mangoes in which to use your Q on creeps with. You play very defensive on this hero because during daytime he is a Daywalker. He doesn't do much. So you can see you don't really want to fight during day. Laning against an Undying Alk. Just picking up a rune here, trying to avoid the double decay. Spam your Q out. This is one of those heroes where you can actually level your spell at level 1 because W will do nothing and E will do nothing. You always level Q first, and you can just start spamming it because you have 3 mangoes. There's no point buying mangoes if you're not going to use them basically. So any last hit, you can Q for it, especially range creeps. I didn't do it there because I didn't think I was going to get it either way. Anyway, Abuse is high base damage. He has 59 base damage. Actually more than that, 63 base damage because I'm missing full strength right now. You can deny with it really hard. The main thing I'm going to show is last hits deniers actually. It's the most important one for Night Stalker. You don't need to worry about harassing the enemy because you're not going to do anything anyway. Your attack speed is really bad during day. Your spells are really bad, they don't do much. Just buy your Quelling Blade and farm and just get XP. It's all you need, farm and XP. You can see I'm not even trying to harass Alchemist. You might think that Alchemist is a hero you really want to pressure in lane so he doesn't out-farm you or anything like that, but there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to farm. Albeit badly because I'm missing 8 damage and I'm not really used to it. But, just right click. Just farm as much as you can. Anytime you see a range creep that needs a nuking, you can press your Q for it, or you can even press your Q for a melee hero like that. Use up your mangoes. By the end of the lane, you should have 1 mango left, or maybe 0. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you use the resources, but don't use the mango until you need it because it gives you 0.5 health regen, which synergizes quite well with its high base regen. So you see, like the last hit chart, I'm 8 and 2. AGHS is pretty much free farming 10 and 3, but it doesn't really even matter because this hero, all he needs is farming XP. Just more last hitting, just play nice and defensive. Anytime you go low, you can let your health regen carry you through. You have 6 tangos, so like you see here, I'm taking quite a lot of damage in Acid Spray, but you know, it doesn't really matter. You have 12 regen with the tango up, and you have 6 of them anyway. Under tower, Night Stalker is very strong. He has high base damage. You can last it pretty effectively, especially with Quelling Blade. You can buy your boots next, or a magic. I already bought the magic stick actually against the Undying, because he's going to be spamming out his decay. So just continuing to CS as much as it's possible, using your Q to supplement your damage. You max your Q first, you take 2 levels in your E for the value points so that you can actually run around at night, and then you take 1 level in your Crippling Fear because it's 5 seconds and then it only scales 1 second and cooldown, and you don't really need that. I would max my E second, but it's up to personal preference. Some people, they might want to max their W first if it's a game that requires more silence than running around. Okay, minute 5, this is when it's night time. This is when you try and push your lead, your advantage. You start to actually hit fast. You can see I'm going to go aggressive now because I actually have attack speed, it leads to a kill. And then your Q slows for 4 seconds or 3 seconds at 2 levels. So you can use this to get a lot of kills. So you see, you play really passive, and as soon as it's nighttime, you turn on the aggression. And you just start spamming your Q at people. Now, I said I was going to use you should have 1 mango left, but because I had a magic stick with 10 charges, it basically supplements it. Next up, you want to buy your chainmail and some clarities on the courier. This hero has some fucking serious mana problems. 1.6 int gain per level, you don't buy any int items. This spell's 100 mana, this spell's 50, this one's 125. So level your ult is 6 always, it gives you so much damage and utility, flying vision. Oh, I forgot to mention his ult gives flying vision. AoE flying vision is very strong. So I'm just going to use my fly to try and pressure this Dazzle. He actually tries to kill me here, but you can run away with your phase boots, pop your magic stick, try and back up. You know, like Night Stalker is a really good hero at ganking the other lanes during night because he runs around really fast, so you don't lose that much time. So if you see your mid gang, you know, dives or something, just have a TP on you, TP mid, start hitting them, run after them with your Q and whatever, just help out. Now, just because it is nighttime doesn't mean you are invulnerable. In fact, quite far from it. You're not actually that strong 1v2 or something like that. So as long as Lina isn't here, I'm just going to play nice and passive, just keep farming. I want my Aghanims. Once I get my Aghanims, I can play however I want. But just use your Q whenever you can, especially when you have mangoes left. It does so much damage. It's going to harass Alk out of the lane. So this is 2 Qs in, and he's forced to ult. And then I'm just going to kill this Tombstone and run away. So that's a 200 gold for me. But as you can see, the health regen, it really is special on Night Stalker. Like no other hero really has this. But the main thing is, as Night Stalker, you want to abuse your movement speed as much as possible. Just dart in and out of the fights. Never let them get any, you know, stuns on you or anything. Just make sure you keep running around. I ult there to try and kill an Undying, but he TPs out because he sees it coming. Try not to use your ult too much. Try and make sure that you always have your ult available during the day, because Daywalker is a very bad hero, and the enemy team will try and fight around those timings. So try and make sure that you always have that ult, just in case you need to fight for 30 seconds. But so I made a mistake here by using it there. So your item progression, there's 2 main paths you can go. The first one is playing like a utility hero, where you buy Vessel and Crimson Pipe, Vessel, what's the other one? Solar Crest, and your phase boots obviously. The other one is you buy straight AGHS if you're having a good game. If you're having a bad game, I recommend going Earn into Medallion. It's going to give you a lot of stats, it's going to give you kill potential, you know, it's good utility, and then buy some aura items to help your team. If you are having a good game, then 50 last hits by minute 10 for me is a very good game as Night Stalker, and I have 1 kill, 0 deaths, 1 assist. It's going very well. Just rush an AGHS. It's gonna do so much. Now at daytime, you don't really want to fight as Night Stalker, but when you have your ult up, you know, you can get some free kills here and there. You see, we group up as 5, and I use my ult, but after my ult, that's going to be 2 minutes where I'm not going to play aggressive at all. You can use your silence preemptively so that people can't jump into the fights, and you can also use it and just run into Alk like there so that you can't ult, and it's going to catch most people by surprise because you have 500 move speed and global flying vision, so you can like abuse cliffs and the such. Like if you come from behind here with flying vision, he can't see up his own cliff like this. I realize I'm going a lot faster than the other guys, but you can feel free to like pause the video and watch it at like half speed or something. But I'm just going to go a little bit faster because I think this hero is really straightforward, and I think the guides are way too long from before. So you see here, it's daytime, so I'm just going to be AFK farming. Basically, your game plan should be farm at day, fight at night. And if you have your ult, then you can make at night, obviously. So that's like the exception. So no ult, no night. I'm just going to farm. We go on this alchemist here. I put down my silence. You know, just make sure he's always fucking silenced. We get the kill. And then I'm just going to use my ult to farm with because of the bonus damage. You can see this hero has mana problems though. I've spent most of this game on low mana. So half a minute until another night time without my ult up. So I'm just going to farm jungle creeps, let my Slark farm top, let my Kunkka farm mid. Make sure you don't die on this hero as well, because he usually has a lot of snowball power. So make sure you backpack your point booster if you have it when you use your shrine. Get the runes. Get a rune, especially against alchemists, it's important to contest them. I buy 2 parts of my AGHS. These are the 2 most important parts compared to the 10 AGI item, which won't do much. So in we go for another fight. Just use your silence, try and put it on as many people as possible. A common mistake I see from Night Stalker players is they put down their silence and they start auto-attacking heroes, and during their auto-attacks they don't move in close enough during the auto so that so like while you're attacking, the enemy hero runs while you're using your auto attack, and the backswing makes it so they escape from the silence for a second. They can cast a spell, like this guy can get like a Shadow Grave off. Just make sure you're on top of them. It's like a centaur stun, right? You want to be slightly ahead of them so that you are always going to land it during the animation. Same as Night Stalker. Just keep phasing in on them. Only hit when you're literally in them so that you can always catch up and they can't get a single spell off. So even at night you can also farm if you're close to your AGHS, because I just died once and it's put me back quite far. You usually want your AGHS by minute 20-ish. That's when it's going to be the most effective. So in we go with our silence. Just going to clean up this fight. Take a try and take a dazzle kill. You can use your ult whenever you want vision. So right there, you see this dazzle is a mid, so it's a really important kill to get. So at that point, you can use your ult just for vision to cancel his TP with your Q. So I finished my AGHS now. I think I find a regen rune bot, which is quite nice. But otherwise, you want to be buying some clarities as well. So in goes the Mirana. Let's kill another kill for us. So you can see you like just fight around your timings, your cooldowns all the time. This is like a nice little tier 2 push at this point. This Q is so strong, you just want to be using it all the time. Anytime you can use your Q, look at that. 4-man Q, it's going to stun everyone, they can't fight into it, it's going to do so much damage. You can also use it to farm with. On the creeps, it does same damage at day and night, so it's quite a nice farming tool during the daytime. See, as Night Stalker, you want to be constantly running around, abusing your passive. In, use your Q, use your W, out, QW, QW. See, like, you push your hero to the limit, run away on 1 health after using as many Qs and Ws as possible. I guess this is true for most initiating offlaners. You just want to not ever be really in the fight so that the enemy can lock you down, because if you look at that enemy team, like, you can get dismembered, you can get poison touched, and it's gonna seriously affect your move speed. Just don't even give them a chance. Like, you can even ult and then just play in the tree line so they can't see you. This hero's very good at doing hit and run tactics basically, and with your Q it's especially strong. So here I want to make up this cliff, so I'm just gonna ult for it. Now once you ult, you are pretty committed, because if you don't use it, you have half a minute basically to use it, otherwise it's going to be kind of a waste, and they're going to have 2 minutes to counter and win the map back. So even if it means going quite deep, going quite aggressive, generally want to go and try and get 1 kill at least with your ult. So we got 2 kills there actually out of that, which is nice, and I TP home and I buy my Blink Dagger. This is generally speaking what you buy next if you go the AGHS build. You can also buy a casual, you can also buy any of these 4 items: Solar Crest, Spirit Vessel, Pipe and Crimson Guard. It depends on the game. This game we're not taking much damage, and I don't really have a core that I want to spam a solo crest on. Like, it's fine on Slark, but they're not really killing him. I think he only has like 2 deaths or something, 1 death. So I'm just going to get Blink. This is the next best thing. This is a good utility item. You can use your W and then blink in and silence a lot more people. You can blink in and Q. It's just really strong on Night Stalker. It's mostly for the W though. It helps you position in a way that you catch all of them with your silence. So ult in, blink in, start spamming Qs and Ws, and when you put down your W, it also makes it so the enemy can't initiate in that area. So if you're ever playing against an Axe and you see your team grouped up, or like a Shaker or something, just press your W, and if they blink in, they can't Echo Slam, they can't call. And then, you know, blink in with your Q W to cancel this member there, even though it's a daytime W. And again, the mana costs are a problem, so I'm going to walk back my clarities on the courier, or in my stash. So this is what I'm talking about on the daytime farming. You want to drag the creeps together in the jungle so that you can nuke lots of creeps with your Q. Two Q nukes will kill a creep wave, and 1 will kill a range creep before minute 25, and the creeps get too strong, I believe. But it will also kill jungle creeps very fast. Night Stalker now farms very fast during the daytime with AGHS. Used to be a major weakness of his that he can't really farm, and it's kind of a big deal of why he's so broken right now. So anytime you see groups of enemies, you can just blink in. I kill the courier here, as you can see. I'm phasing this Mirana out of the fight. Get arrowed here by accident. But like, in we go with the ult again, 4-man. But like, this is a good example of how you should play the Night Stalker. See, I'm low, so I'm getting chased by Alk, and I'm just gonna play around the trees. Then I'm in, another Q. If you run all the way back home, you know it's not ideal because your team is basically missing a hero, and if you go in, you're gonna die. So you just wanna keep them juked all the time and spam Qs. See the courier died there, which is not great. In I go. Spamming Q out, buying a Soul from Enemy Fountain, buying Clarity from Enemy Fountain, and this game is pretty clearly over, I would say. And I'm just going to show one more example of a game I played earlier in which we actually had a really bad lane, and but this one is going to show some slightly different things, but this is just going to be really fast. It's going to be like 5 minutes. Just consider this like a bonus at the end of the game video. I mean, this is basically about what to do if you lose your lane as Night Stalker, or if you draw even or something like that, because that game, you see, I had a lot of farm at minute 10, you know, and my team were winning. This is a game where my team were not doing so well. I think we lose bot lane pretty hard. I can't remember actually, but it wasn't going as well as that game. So same item setup. I'm gonna skip the entire laning phase and go straight to minute 10. So this game, you see, I bought a because the game is not going as well. I'm gonna buy a casual urn. See, I'm constantly getting ganked here as well during the daytime. You want to make sure you try not to die as much as possible. You know, like, this is a lot of. See, whenever I ult in, even though Night Stalker seems like the kind of hero you want to go in and just hit people over and over again, when you're playing against like Treant, Invoker, you just want to make sure they can't put their spells on you. So it's better to sit back and use your Q on people in the background. Always put yourself in a position that you can disengage from people as well. You don't really want to die as Night Stalker ever. But yeah, it's just farming, but with an urn this time. You can see, like, as much as possible, you just want to sit in a lane during the day and just farm. So I'm buying dust, just slowing down my farm by quite a lot. Just, like, doing some simple jungling even. Like, you see, I could have gone for the wave there, but, you know, like, I could feel that it was kind of dangerous. So it's better to just take less farm, because not dying is worth a lot more. And you see, I'm playing like a bit of a pussy. I get 1 kill. I always play on the fringe of the fight so that I can always run over cliffs. Just try not to die as Night Stalker. Every death sets you back on your AGHS timing, and a late AGHS isn't going to do much against Pipe of Insights and stuff like that. So here, it's just more daytime farming, hitting jungle creeps. Point booster finished. In we go for another kill. I actually die here, which is not great. You use your W here to clean up a Brewmaster who can't use his ult. That's just the utility of the silence. There's so many ways to use this spell. Initiate, counter-initiate, disengage, like preemptive to stop people from blinking in and using their spells. But see, like, this makes the Invoker kill really easy, makes the Brewmaster kill really easy. I'm ulting here to try and find the Tinker. I do find the Tinker here. And just doing 1 or 2 hits and then I'm going to run. I actually could have survived with the stick there. It's kind of a misplay, but you know, going on this tree is kind of awkward. But like generally speaking, at nighttime, you just want to be doing things around the map, like trying to make kills, trying to find opportunities to do things. Because at daytime, you're going to be very useless, and the enemy team is going to try and push you back, and you want to build as much of a lead as possible before that happens. See here, it's a good time to ult because you want to get your W off on Brew because you need the full duration to make sure he dies without getting his ult off. More farming. So this is I'm going to call this the super daytime, where you have no ult and it's daytime, and you want to play so defensive during this sort of time because your team can't fight without you, and you don't really want to. A lot of times in pubs, you can't communicate with your team because they're Russians or whatever. You want to communicate with them in a non-verbal way, and the easiest way to say I don't want to fight is just to sit in your jungle and farm, and they're not going to think that, oh, my Night Stalker is behind me. Like, even if you're playing something like here, you know, like the Lina might think, oh, that means my Night Stalker wants to fight or something like that. You can drag your creeps over. This is what I'm talking about the Q. I get super ganked here. So this is why you don't want to position like this during the daytime, because you know you have to get your ult. You have to get your ult off, which I couldn't during the cold snap, but if it was nighttime, I can just press W, which is a better animation, and fly over the hill or whatever with my ult after that. So now it's another little bit of super daytime. I'm just going to play under my tower. You know, I'm going to see where the enemy is. I'm going to try and dodge them as much as possible. See the Q just helps you farm. My Lina actually steals a lot of farm in this game, but whenever possible, just want to hit the 3 melee creeps once each and then use your Q, and it kills the range creep as well. So I'm level 15 now. See, 2 Qs will kill a wave. Trying on the... See, during the fights you just want to run around, make sure you dodge all the spells. See, both my team died there. It was kind of a bad fight, but I'm going to survive. Just never want to be in. You don't want to be fully committed as this hero. You want to abuse his movement speed. Now at this point I have the Blink Dagger. Now you can go pretty aggressive. You know, just running around, spamming Qs on people. Find the Tinker here, cancel his Blink with the Urn. Blink in, keep him silent so he can't laser me. And then Q to finish him off. And that's going to be a common factor this game. Or like a common recurring theme, I guess you could say, of me finding this Tinker and just killing him for free. So in we go against this BKB. Just going to back it up against the BKB, let him use his ult. I'm going to play in the trees so that I can run in, do a big Q. Then I'm going to ult for some damage, and so I can find this Tinker. In I go. 2-man silence. The Treant can't really protect him. He has to run all the way out, and he can't do that in time because he's just a Treant with bad move speed. You know, in I go again on this Tinker. I get Meteor hammered, but it's just like constantly keeping vision on him. And there's the dieback. And that's generally how you want to play these team fights. Just want to stay in the tree lines and throw out Qs. And then a little bit of friendly banter. So yeah, I'm just going to skip forwards towards the end here. Maybe that's too far actually. Yeah, so here is a good moment. Just going to show the me trying to hunt the Tinker here for a second, but it doesn't go too well. So I buy the BKB. This is a pretty common third item if you're going this build, and after that it's Nullifier because it combines with your silence to create a miniature Doom, and it's good with attack speed with your E. And but the BKB basically lets you run in a lot more aggressively, and you can play like actually right-clicking people, and it's going to increase your damage per second by a lot. So this is a big Roche fight. I'm just going to press my Q during the day, and it's still going to do the same amount of damage. I ult, I BKB, I run in on Tinker, I kill the Tinker. And then like with the BKB, you can just go really, really ham. It's an easy triple kill. And so yeah, so the closing remarks, this hero is really broken. Make sure you pick him. Make sure you first pick him. Play defensive on lane until minute 5, then you can go a little bit more aggressive. You can buy either the AGHS route or the Auras route, depending on how your game is going. And during the fights, you want to maneuver around, make sure you get as many spells off as possible. And as for talents, you want to go health talent instead of mana talent, because you know this hero is really strong when you're tankier, and even though he has mana problems, you don't really need to use that many Qs in a fight. It's more about just clarity, making sure you start the fights with 100% mana. 15 strength is a lot better than lifesteal. Movement speed is actually a lot better than damage, because as you can see, this hero does not attack as much as people try, because in low MMR pubs, people will just attack non-stop and they get killed as Night Stalker and lose their advantage, because this is a snowball hero. But movement speed, it helps during daytime, it makes you max movement speed all the time. At night, it's just a lot better than attack damage, I find. And ult is personal preference. I usually take the hunt in the night attack speed, because by that time I have a BKB and I want to be hitting things, especially racks and things like that. But the Dark Ascension cooldown is obviously really strong as well. It basically halves your downtime when you don't have your ult, or like makes it a third less, which is really strong, because this is basically his only weakness. Night Stalker's only weakness right now is that there is daytime. So, you know, good luck with this hero. He's really fucking OP. As you can see, this is from before this is the day the Night Stalker got patched, I believe, and I started playing him post-patch from here onwards. And you know, like, I have a lot of Night Stalker games. This isn't me just being complete shit. This hero was really bad. He was in the dumpster. Fucking couldn't do anything as him. His like laning was just awful. I had to start buying Midas's. Just, it's not an effective hero at all. And see these builds. I actually bought an AGHS a long time ago. You can see, like, this is before the buff to his void. I actually had an AGHS, so I'm a meta innovator, but it was so bad back here because you can't farm with it during the day, and it's just not great. But yeah, ever since the patch, you know. But notice the death numbers. It's 12 kills, 4 deaths, 3 kills, 1 death, lots of assists, 4 deaths, and then 1 death, 3 deaths, 3 deaths. So yeah, just play nice and defensive. And as for an example of a build that you can do that doesn't involve AGHS, you can just do something like this. You know, you still want the Blink, BKB, Vessel, Crest, and Cypher Vise really strong late game, or Nullifier depending on what you're against. So this game I go Cypher Vise just for some mana regen, and it's going to be better against these heroes. They can purge it anyway. I don't think I usually build the aura items like the Crimson or the Pipe, but there are times where they're useful. So you see back here I was building a lot more like the Crest and the Vessel, but the Blink is always good. So just experiment, see what build you prefer. I prefer the AGHS build, and good luck.